Good morning, folks. Thank you for joining me. My name is Pramila. I am a Diamond Level Leader with doTERRA International, and I'm so glad that you're joining me. This is my Zoom call and open to just about anybody who wants to come hang out with me on a Saturday morning. We talk about essential oils, we talk about business, we talk about life, we talk about things that might be blocking us or victories for the week that are difficult, and you can ask me questions, and if it's not awfully awkward, I'll answer them. So thank you so much for joining me. Before we continue, please make sure that your call is muted. I have Angie on the call here too. Angie, thanks for joining me. I see you're curling your hair.
Yes, I'm multitasking.
That's awesome. And Angie, I'm going to look to you if you have any questions that you want to maybe kind of lead me in any directions that you want me to go in today. I'm going to give you some of the floor today. So one of the things that I really wanted to talk about is, like, I don't know if you felt this, but I hear it a lot, that this has been a kind of a rough summer for doTERRA. And, people are still using their oils, people are still holding classes, and there's activity, but just not a huge show volume that you would see for this kind of activity and this kind of commitment. And is that something that you guys are seeing as well? Yes or no? Yes, thumbs up. People seeing that? Like there's like a frustrating lack of movement on your teams. Anybody? Yes? Yes. Okay, so I'm just talking to myself. I do that a lot anyway. So, it was interesting to me because in the 3.5 years that I've been with doTERRA, I have never, my team has never really followed a trend because
you have to go into the bathroom?
We've always been above the trend. If there was a drop in volume, or if there was a slightly slow month, my team never felt it. If it was a good month, we felt it. We were always, above average when it was a good month, and then we were pretty, our trajectory was always going. So this was very it was very interesting for me, and it had me starting to think about a few things. One, I'm like, what are we doing that isn't working? Or is this just a situation where the market is kind of following a pattern? Because in any market, in any product, there's a rise and a fall, a rise and a fall. It comes with the awareness of the market. So, up until now, the awareness of essential oils and then the doTERRA difference was at a very low hum. But right now, the frequency and that awareness and the buzz is louder, which means that the product and the market and the message, that excitement of it is coming from a different direction. It's coming from the people who are already in it. It's not coming from the people who don't know about it. So that always happens, like there's a difference in that perception. And what big companies do is they actually then shift their message. They shift their message so the message becomes new and exciting and compelling. There's a theory. It's a theory of 100 monkeys. It's not real, but hypothetically, it works. 100 monkeys is where these scientists put a box in a community of 100 monkeys that had never seen a box. First, the monkeys didn't know what to do with it. They would climb on it, they would jump on it, they would bang on it, and they didn't know how to open the box. And then one day, one monkey learned how to open the box. And in doing so, he opened the box, he showed the monkeys how to open the box, and now all the monkeys knew how to open the box. They would be opening the box, climbing in it. They had awesome time with the box. And then these scientists then took a box and brought it to a different community of monkeys that did not know how to open the box, and they put the box there. And the monkeys there learned how to open the box almost immediately. It's this idea of collective consciousness. So the box was no longer this crazy, amazing, weird thing. Like, oh, look, it's a box. I bet you it opens. And they opened it. So what I'm trying to say is that the market is different. It's not that the product or the need for the product is different. The market is different. And so I think that it's time for you to kind of evaluate what you're saying, what you're doing, and the things. Yeah, my bird just flies around, so don't worry about him. He's just in a mood today. I'm sorry. He's very quiet. And the market is asking you to tell them about these oils, tell them about this opportunity, and tell them about the experience in a slightly different way. I'm not asking you to reinvent the wheel. I'm just asking or suggesting or inviting you to stop for a second and truly understand the deeper level with which these oils benefit you and this lifestyle benefits you. Because with everything that happens in life that's powerful, it's never stagnant. It's never stagnant. It's never complacent. It has to move. It has to be fluid. Leo. That look for a bit. We'll see. My bird's name is Leo. It's short for leotard. It's funny. So you know, in terms of changing your message and understanding what people want, look at what you want. Look at what's important to you. Once you got involved with the oils and you learn how to use the oils, then after you've moved in and you've used the oils for a few months, your experience and your perception of the oils are different. And then if you're like me and you've used the oils, you know, for 3 years, my perception of the oils are completely different. My appreciation for the oils are completely different. A lot of people look at doTERRA and the LRP program and the membership, and you know, they stop short and they say, hey, you know, it's a $35 membership. You can save 25%, and if you get involved with the LRP program, you get a whole bunch of product for free if you order by a certain time of month, which is the 15th. You order $125 and you get a free product. You can get $1,000 in free product if you play your cards right in a year. And then you earn points. And depending on how many points you earn, anywhere from 10 to 30% of your purchase will go toward your ability to get free product. Again, you can get anywhere from a few $100s to a few $1,000s a year in free product. If you love saving money, that's awesome. You guys say that, right? Something along those lines. And then you teach people how to get on LRP. Now, here's the problem. You're telling people about a great value for something that they have no point of reference on. You're telling them that they can save money on something that they're not currently using. You're telling them that they're going to get all kinds of free product on product that they haven't fallen in love with. Do you understand what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Does anybody have any questions about that idea, that statement? Anyone?
Can you hear me, Prem?
I can.
I guess my question is always, so how should we do it then? You know, like, how do you do it? How would you approach it differently?
Well, I think that before you approach it differently, I don't think you should, when you come to that level, I don't think you should be saying anything canned, because people respond. I told you the market's different. It's no longer about information. It's about commitment. It's about conviction. It's about triggering an emotion. In the past, we've been able to get people to buy a membership by our words. But you know, people don't think with words, they think in pictures. You got to paint them a picture, right? So here's the question I ask my team when I do my mentoring with my team. I ask them, I push in and I say, what has been the real value of being on LRP? I don't want to hear about your product of the month. I don't want to hear about your 25% off. What is the real value? Because if you know it and you feel it, you stop speaking and communicating to people in just words. Your words become pictures, and it becomes a picture that they can evaluate and put themselves in that picture. So, to give you an example, when I was talking to my team about this, I'm like, I want you to tell me why. Because people get a little embarrassed when they say, oh, you know, it's almost apologetic. I went through the apologetic phase, you know, of like, oh yeah, you know, you have to buy, you know, they're like, oh, I love the oils. How do I get started? Oh, you have to buy a membership. And then I'm like, oh, but you know, you get 25% off, and I give them all the benefits. And then afterward, I have to make the phone call and be like, hey, let's get you on LRP so you can, you know, maximize on the benefits of your membership. there's a small part of me that's almost apologetic, like, oh my God, don't think I'm trying to, like, dupe you, or, whatever. So you need to get past that thought process. That's one. So what is the real value of LRP for you? I want to hear some of your answers. Can I call on some of you? Can we have a little back and forth here? Angie, I'm not going to call on you because you kind of know where I'm going with this. So let me see. How about you, Catherine? I've got you. I'm going to unmute you. Catherine, what to you is the benefit of the LRP?
Hi. Catherine Ronquist, right?
Yes.
No, okay. I don't know. I think being on LRP right now, since I'm just beginning, I mean, it's great. I've been with doTERRA for a year, but I'm just starting this as the business. So I like that I can save money with it right now, because financial difficulties are what I'm focusing on right now until I can get bigger. But I also like that I don't know, I'm not exactly sure where you're going with it, but I like that I get the free product of the month, and it's something that can help me with whatever's going on in that time of year. So like with this time right now, it's with kids that are going back to school, so it can kind of help me focus on what I need to be selling for moms or for different people, whatever's going on. So I kind of like that idea, but
okay, so right there, the way you answered me like that, right? That you know what you mean, right? But it's not clear enough that anybody has a very clear picture on the benefit of it. You talk about saving money, but it looks different for everybody, correct?
Yeah.
Everybody's idea of financial stress is different. And then when you say being ready for the things during the year, like what? And why is that important to you? Right? So the picture isn't clear yet. Don't worry, I'm going to cover that. I'm just, but so the fuzziness of your picture as to the benefit of it is going to come across as a fuzzy benefit, as a fuzzy, is a fuzzy benefit. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, and I'm still trying to figure it out. So.
All right, so we're going to talk about how we're going to figure that out, okay? But that makes sense to you. All right. So if you don't mind muting yourself, that would be great. Connie, can I see what you think the benefit of the LRP?
That's me?
Yes, that's you.
You can hear me. Okay, so the benefits of LRP is incredible money saving. So if you're at 10% in the beginning, and you're spending 100, TV, you're getting 10 back, $9 for your shipping. You're getting 19 points back from shipping, and you can get new oils the very next month. And I think after the 15th or after the 18th, I can't remember. But I just think as you go every quarter, it goes up 5%. You save so much money, and at the end, you are at 30% and getting your shipping reimbursed to you. It's like the smartest way to get your essential oils. So we're saving 55% pretty much, and it's just incredible, generous benefit of being on LRP. Even if you just go 50 PV every month, which is the minimum moving forward, you're getting quite a bit back. It's quite substantial, the savings, especially with the shipping reimbursement. So LRP.
And that's something that you said is something I'm pretty sure thousands of people in this era, that's what thousands of people say in terms of
Breakfast? Oh, okay, cool. You guys are leaving at 9:30, aren't you?
Hey, Pram. Hey, Pram. This is Angie. Can you hear me? There's some really strong background noise going on. If everybody can figure out how to mute themselves, that would help a lot. And also, still hear you guys? Oh, there she is. Oh, that's so much better.
Thank you. Okay, so what Connie said, is something that a lot of people talk about. That's how they describe LRP. And you're talking about percentages, and you're talking about how much money you're saving, and you're talking about PV and all of that. Now remember, again, if you're talking to someone new who just started with doTERRA, this means nothing to them. Not everybody. Some people are super excited. All of us here are like, whoa, what? Sign me on. But that is, you're not painting a picture. So I'm going to get to where I'm going, but I want to give you some examples of what we're doing right now and why that needs to change. All right. So we say, oh, you get all these percentage, all of that. That is like, it's not exciting. It's exciting to you because you know what it means. You're like, motherload, right? That's what it means to you. But for somebody else who's just got their family physician's kit, they're like, what? That doesn't mean anything to them. They're like, I just spent all this money on this kit, and you're already talking about me spending more money. I don't even know how to use this thing. So how do you translate that in a way that they want to be on LRP? They want it. They're like, please tell me. So I'll give you some examples, and then we'll turn back around, all right? So for me, when I talk about the benefits of LRP, I don't talk about, I very briefly gloss over the points, and I usually do that later. But when I first talk to them about the LRP, and when I talk to my team about being comfortable about talking about the LRP, I go through a few exercises with them. I'm like, what is exciting to you about the LRP? And they started off just like you guys, giving me answers like this. They don't give me answers like that anymore. Kind of answers they give me is, I saved over $750 last year because I didn't have to buy toxic chemicals that was poisoning my family. Instead, I was using essential oils that could clean my home, and that same product could make great baked goods. And I'm able to, take care of my skin and feel better. It's a sustainable way of living, and the best one I found. That's the answer they give me as to why they love LRP. Another lady told me, another one of my teammates told me that this was the first time, because she was on LRP, this was the first time in 3 years or 2 years or longer that her husband and her were able to take a vacation. 7 years. She said, I am able to take a vacation for the first time in 7 years because I am on the doTERRA LRP program. Because I invested in my health, I took fewer sick days and was able to go on a vacation. Very cool, right? Another friend of mine said, because I spent $125 on my LRP and am never without the oils that I need to support myself on a daily basis, I am saving money on impulse and unnecessary emergency prescriptions. She goes, in the last 6 months, I have not touched my deductible at all. And when I look at what my deductible was, it's about $500. And I've spent just about that, maybe a little bit more with doTERRA, but I feel great. And the amount I spend on a little bit more has been worth every penny, and I've saved money in other ways as well. Another person told me that because she's on the doTERRA LRP program and makes a purchase with her LLV and other products every single month, she has been able to fulfill a lifelong dream of running in a marathon because she feels good, because she has gotten her body to a place that it can handle a marathon. Now, these are not answers that you need to give your people that you're talking to LRP about, but this conviction, this knowledge, this awareness of the way the LRP has changed your life will change your posture, and you will be able to paint a picture for people. Does that make sense? Angie, do you want to reflect that back and maybe tell me what you think of that thought?
Yeah, I love it. In fact, as you've been talking, I got to find a spot that's besides the bathroom. How about the closet? Just kidding.
I spend a lot of time in there, really.
It's scary in there right now. So what if I said to people, in 2010, my husband was deployed when I had a newborn 1-month-old baby, a 2-year-old boy, and a 4-year-old little girl, and we were living by ourselves. And I was trying to be really smart with the money we were making and trying to learn how to coupon. So I got into couponing, and you know, at a certain time of the year, all the coupons for medicines start coming out, like NyQuil and children's Tylenol. They all start coming out. I thought, okay, my husband's gone, and when the kids get sick in the middle of the night this year, I'm not going to have anybody to run to CVS for me in the middle of the night like I used to. So I've got to be prepared. And I filled up the whole, like the whole section of the grocery belt with medicine and pulled out all my coupons. And the checker was like, man, somebody must be really sick. And I said, no, nobody's sick right now. I just know that we will get sick and I want to be prepared. So take that now to my life right now. Because of loyalty rewards, I have a bag full of every single oil that doTERRA has. And when something comes up in my family, and my husband still travels a lot, there's a lot of time when he is not here. But I don't have that anxiety anymore because of loyalty rewards, and I've already saved the money on it. Like, the reason why I have so many oils in my bag is because of all the points that doTERRA gives me back and all of the product of the month that I've received over the years I've been doing doTERRA. And now it's not even just physical stuff. It's like when we hit a wall emotionally, because now my little 4-year-old girl is 14. And she's not, you know, coming up with a cold or a cough or something like that. She's coming up with serious, like, worries about starting high school in a month and making friends. And those moments for her are probably more scary. We're back when she was little and we were, but let me just say, let's go in the call. Can you please mute? Pram, I will welcome someone to the call for you, but say background noise. Oh, perfect. Thank you so much. Okay. Anyway, so now these emergencies that we have at, you know, 11 p.m., midnight, they're different, but I can still use my oils emotionally for my children. And I've already saved the money on them. And I have a whole bucket full of points waiting for me to, you know, cash out on something else that we need or refill what we have. So that's how I can describe loyalty rewards, the blessing of loyalty rewards and the oils to people now.
Right. And, you know, you want to work on that idea, like that thought process, and bring it down to a snapshot, a picture.
Okay.
Snapshot. You know, how I said, you know, one of my downlines said that I can go on a vacation now for the first time in 7 years because I didn't have to take as many sick days. Boom, it's very concise. And that immediately people go, what do you mean? Right? Like, how? Tell me more.
Yeah.
You know, you want that. Tell me more. I want that. That's intriguing to me. You know?
Yeah.
So, you know, another girl mentioned that, you know, she's addicted to like these saline, like, you know, for her eyes, because her eyes are always uncomfortable. And she noticed that she wasn't buying as much saline. She goes, you know, it doesn't seem like a lot, but I mean, that's a good like $5 or $10 a month. She goes, I save enough money in a year to place a free order because I'm not using that as much anymore. My eyes are not watering as much. I mean, there are all these little things, you know, it starts small, like the perception starts small, but I want you to sit down and think about really what is the bigger benefit, not the benefit that has been written down on a piece of paper about the LRP program. I want you to think about what it has done for you in a big way, in a small way, in the day-to-day way. And once you know that and you can articulate that, it's not something you need to tell people, but because you know it, it changes your posture. It changes your confidence. It changes the words that come out of your mouth, and you'll realize that saying words like PV and 55% or discount or you know, things that come up during the year, they become more defined. They become sharper. It's a sharper image. It worked before where you didn't have to do that. The market is different now. People are at a different level of awareness, and you need to meet them. I'm not asking you to change or rearrange you. I'm just I'm asking you to become a better version of yourself as you represent your business and this doTERRA opportunity. So there you go. that's one of the things I really wanted to talk about. And I was wondering if maybe we can go a little bit deeper. And if you have any questions, and if you wanted to, maybe I can ask someone, and we can try and work off that, and I'll help you in figuring out how to answer this just a little bit better. Michelle, are you okay? Can I call on you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi there, how are you?
Good.
Good. How are you?
Tell me how what your perception of the benefit of LRP is.
I think mostly it helps me to not think about.
Pause a second. I think there's more than one Michelle.
Oh,
Which Michelle are you? I don't know. But that's okay. Keep talking. You're good.
it's Michelle Poppy. I think it helps me to not think about like spending that $125 every month. I just do it, and then I get what I need. I get what we need as a family.
Mm-hmm.
I replace the things we're out of,
Mm-hmm.
and that just honestly helps us. Like she was saying, I haven't spent money on medication in as long as I can remember, and for me or my children. And we don't go to the doctor.
Other than savings, the fact that you're not spending money on medications, what does that mean?
It means we feel better. It means we aren't getting sick. It means my kids haven't had snotty noses in, oh gosh, since before Christmas.
Right.
And we've moved 3 times and flown twice,
Okay.
you know.
And so how do you think that's changing the quality of your children's life?
I know what it's like to be sick, so for them to not be sick is amazing. It makes me feel like a better mom. It lets them go play, it lets them go do whatever they want to do.
Mm-hmm. You feel like a better mom.
Yeah.
Feel like a better mom. Being a mom is hard, and we want all the victories we can get.
Yes.
And I remember when my kids would get sick all the time, I felt like I was failing them. I'm like, what am I not doing right for you?
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm like, I'm the best mom ever.
Yeah.
I'm not. But, a lot of my parenting is done by the oils. But,
You know.
I know, I'm like, you're in a bad mood. I'm like, go put your oils on. So I get it. See, right there, you feel like a better mom. That is valuable. That is valuable. It gives you the confidence to not second guess the decisions that you make for your children because you're succeeding at this.
Right.
Awesome. And you were on that call when we pushed, right? On the team call when we pushed for this. Were you on that? When we did?
I think so.
Yeah. And we covered that for a while there, but yeah, so this is good. And then, okay, so you feel like a better mom. Your kid, you're not spending as much on medications. So what does that mean about your life right now? You're living a more sustainable life. You are more in control of your life.
I feel like I'm giving them a better quality of the things that we bring into our home. Like I don't worry about them getting into the cabinet underneath the sink because there's nothing in there that can hurt them.
Mm-hmm. Peace of mind.
And I don't know. I feel like it's a safer home, a healthier home, and I don't know who doesn't want that for their kids. Right
there. Because I'm on the LRP program, I feel like I'm more in control of my family's health and wellness, right? Because it's a safer home, it's a healthier home, and I feel like I'm doing my job better as a mom. And I know that sounds like a weird statement. It's not a common statement that people would make, but why not? It's true. I feel like a better mom. I am a better mom because I'm not bringing all these toxins into my home, and that decision hasn't cost me more money.
Fran, can I jump in here quick? Can I jump in here and add something?
Yeah, please.
One other thing that we're also empowering our children because, we're removing the chemicals from our home. We're teaching them a healthier lifestyle when they're children. They are learning huge lessons by watching us. And I think they learn more by watching what we do and how we do things than really what we say.
Mm-hmm.
And my kids, I know, are very aware, and becoming even more aware just by how I do things and why I do things. Because they'll ask me, well, why do you do that? Well, because, honey, that the chemicals in there are not good for you. That's why we don't use it. So not only are we making our homes cleaner and healthier for them, but we're giving them the knowledge that there is a different way, a healthier way, a better way going into the future. We're empowering them with that education as well.
Absolutely. So can you say, would this be a fair statement for me to reflect back to you and say, because of my family's decision to get involved with the LRP program, I am teaching my children about their bodies, about how to take care of their bodies through natural means, and for them to understand that they can truly be in control of their emotions and their wellness. And that is priceless and worth the $125 or $150 or whatever I invest every single month, because I am giving them a very important life lesson. I'm teaching them. Is that fair?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we spend money on dance classes, on language classes, on sports. Where are we spending the money on our children to teach them how to live? How to live, how to be alive, how to be aware of the gifts of this earth. If we spend money on dance classes and football classes, why can't we spend money on this? Has that shifted your commitment and your conviction? Has that shifted the paradigm of your LRP expenditure? It's not an expenditure. You're investing in your child's future the same way you're investing in your child's future when you put them in soccer and whatever other crazy thing they want to be on. My daughter's in archery. I'm like, when are you going to do that? I'm like, whatever. Always like, oh, hi, Mom. I'm like, it's not the Hunger Games, you know? But if it was, she would have some oils. You know, so very good. Did we make a breakthrough here today?
I have a question, Pam.
Yes, Angie.
So what I get from this is I need to speak about LRP instead of speaking about just like the oils. Because this is how I talk about how the oils have impacted my life. But if I can substitute, because of the Loyalty Rewards program, I can do X, Y, Z. It's just like I talk about the oils this way, but I don't talk about Loyalty Rewards this way.
We've become experts at teaching classes. We are experts at talking to people about oils.
Yeah.
We're experts at that. But then we get nervous about the other bit, the bit about, hey, $20 a month ain't gonna cut it. $50 a month ain't gonna cut it. $125, $150 is where you need to be at, not because you're doing the business, but because this is a lifestyle. It's like you can't buy a half a roll of toilet paper. You know, it's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
You can't buy a half a roll of toilet paper. Why would you half-step this thing? Don't half-step it. Step in. Change your future. Change the lives. Change the way you spend money. Change the way you live. Change, you know, I walk and, you know, it's like, it's weird. My downlines, they're very, very careful about the pictures they post sometimes, because they'll post like this happy picture of them, like, oh, look at my brownies. And I'm like, I comment, I'm like, why is there a Lysol in the background? Like, we need to have a conversation. You're like, how about the brownies? I'm like, nope, it's interested in the Lysol. What's happening? You know, it's a lifestyle. It's like, you know, when you use these oils, if you don't have the proper supplementation, if you're sleeping in a home that's toxic ridden, and, you know, if you're walking down the aisle in the grocery store and I blindfold you, you can find that aisle that has all the chemicals, right? And here we are, we've been programmed to thinking that being a good mom, being a good wife, being a good person with a, you know, clean house means that you have a collection of those poisons in your home, and that's what makes your home clean. That's what we've been programmed to do. That's what we've been programmed to think. So in thinking that, what we're doing is we're poisoning ourselves. And then sometimes people tell me, oh, you know, the oils kind of work for me, but they not really. I'm like, it's not the oils. What's going on in your life? What's going on in your home? I'm like, what did you take a shower with that morning? She goes, why does that matter? I'm like, it does, because your skin is your biggest organ. And if you're going to put Dove on it, that the oils are going to first work on taking care of what's happening with the Dove before they will go in and help you with your respiratory discomfort or your digestive discomfort. So why don't you just open your pantry and take some sugar out, put some fractionated coconut oil in it, pour a drop of Castile soap, put some essential oils, and use that instead. And I promise you, you use that, your skin is going to feel amazing. It's going to be more receptive to the oils because it's not clogging it up. You're leveling the playing field. That's how the oils are going to work. So it's a lifestyle. And if you are not buying Dove and if you're not buying Lysol, then that money goes here and you use it here and you're going to get so much more from it. But in order for you to be able to speak in that manner, it's not about having this level of dialogue. It's an inner dialogue that comes out as you're asking people questions and talking to them about the benefits. What do you want? I always ask them, what do you want? If you could imagine like how your home would be perfect, what's important to you? They're like, oh, I want my home to be clean. I want my home to be organized. And I'm like, how about your family's health and wellness? How would you like that to be different? I would like my children, to be healthier. How does that look? Well, my son gets a cold every fall and it really interrupts football, his soccer, his football. I'm like, well, what if we could take care of that? I mean, would that make a difference in your life? I'm like, how do you guys sleep? Do you guys sleep well? How does that affect the quality of your mornings? Is mornings a stressful time for you to get the kids out of school? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, oh yeah, my kids go to bed at 8 and get up at 6. We don't have an alarm clock and my son wakes up singing and they're dressed and ready to go 20 minutes earlier. I sleep in. I don't make breakfast. They do it themselves. I know you hate me, but you can have that life too. I'm not really that great of a parent. My children are just really well balanced and happy. And they're like, oh, okay. So it's about how you bring that out in them. You have to make them want this lifestyle and not half-step it. And I make it very clear to people. I say, they're like, oh, my budget only allows for $50. I'm like, well, you really need about $125, and I can show you how. And I'm not going to ask you to hold classes, though you can if you want to. But if I can cut some of your monthly expenses and help you feel better in a very meaningful way within a few months, you will have that money. I just need you to pay attention and talk to me and tell me what's working and what's not. LRP is important. I'm telling you why the LRP is important. I have seen so many organizations, people come to me and ask me to look at their teams and like say, oh, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Help me restructure this. I'm like, I look at their teams, and for most part, this is what I found. You have everybody you need in your team to get to the next level. You just haven't tapped into their commitment and their conviction, and you have not done your job in fulfilling your promise that you will truly companion them and truly teach them and truly change their lives. And you haven't done that because you have not shown them how their lives could be different by committing with a complete roll, not a half a roll of toilet paper. So they need to order about $125 and $150. And I'll tell you, anybody who tells you that they can't afford that is lying. Know that. It's lying. They're lying. I didn't have that money and I still found it. The difference is it's not a priority. So you find out what a priority is for them. What is their priority? And you show them how the oils can fulfill that priority. What is their priority? Most people want to be happy. Most people want to be a good mom, a good parent, a good spouse. Most people just want to enjoy life and not feel like, it's a routine. So if they can feel better, go and run a marathon. Maybe they can go take that vacation because you're not having that many sick days. That is life-changing. Anybody have any questions for me at all? Raise your hands. I'll call on you. Did I render you guys all speechless? Kiara, you disappeared. Valerie, can I call on you? Valerie Finlay?
You certainly can. I have snuck onto your call this morning. I'm calling from North Idaho. And I just happened to like your Facebook page and saw your post for this Zoom this morning. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to do it. I'm going to sneak onto somebody else's area. I don't even know where in the world on our doTERRA family tree that you would be even close to me, but I have had the slump of a lifetime this summer and needed to hear the way to approach people, especially in my area. We live in an area where there's not the flow of money. We have a lot of people who are on assistance, who are on disability, who need this to change their lives. So this morning I'm like all pumped up and ready to run to work and just start blabbing to the world. So thank you for letting me jump on here and invade your guys' space and team and everything.
Anybody. You are where you absolutely should be. This is not an exclusive thing. I just opened it up and like, come hang out.
Well, I am so grateful that you did that because I heard your story. I heard you actually on an Edge call probably a month or so ago and was just so excited listening to your story about how you have to take your kids to class all the time and you made the changes that you need to make. You found the money that you needed to find to do this. And that's what I'm dealing with a lot of the people that I'm trying to help is convincing them that instead of getting that $3 energy drink every single day, they should get on the LRP to have those vitamins and get that Mito 2 Max to get them through their days instead of putting all that toxic gunk into their system. So I just really appreciate listening to you this morning. It's been awesome. It's great.
Thank you. I'm glad you're here. And I just want to address what you said. You said you want to convince them. You can't. If you make your job convincing people, then it's going to be hard and you're going to feel defeated. Try changing your words, not convince people, because convincing is like you are dragging a rock, so a difference would be to inspire people or to compel people. Your job is not to convince them. Your job is to show them your life and invite them and ask them if they want their life to be different. So when you talk about convincing, that means that you have things to say. When it's an invitation, you have things to ask. Ask, what do you want? Do you want to be on these energy drinks? If the answer is yes, then what's the point of you trying to tell them that the Mito 2 Max is going to work? They're like, I love the way the energy drink tastes. I'm going to tell you something about myself. I used to be a smoker. I know, I'm smart. I know smoking's bad. I can read. I understand. But I smoked not because of anything other than I liked it. And so until I decided that I didn't like it, I wanted something different that was more important to me than that moment that I had every evening sitting outside and having a cigarette. Until that moment came along, I didn't want to make any changes. You got to recognize that. So you ask people, you figure out what their priority is. So it's not about, hey, get off the energy drink. It's like, why are you on the energy drink? Oh, I just like the way it tastes. Oh, but, does it mean anything to you that, you being on that much sugar is really going to compromise and shorten your lifespan? It can cause some severe issues with your gut. If you have a family, don't you want to be around and healthy and show them a different way? How would you feel if your children felt that drinking energy drinks was the way that they could cope with life down the road? Is that something that is important to you? It's like, ask the question differently. It's not what you have to say to them. It's what they say to you will give you insight on how you can shift their paradigm. If your goal is to help people. Right? It's a slight difference. When you listen more than you speak, when you speak, your words are powerful. Especially if you've been listening, not just politely hearing. When you're listening and you reflect it back to them, it's more powerful. Some thoughts there. Anybody else have any questions or comments here? Pamela, can I call on you? Okay, do you have any comments, questions, or feedback?
Well, I actually really appreciate everything you said because and all around what you're saying, I too had some realizations very similar to what you're saying. First of all, when I was teaching classes, I was doing really well, and then I had this one class and no one signed up, and I was like, what the heck happened? I was really confused. And I had this realization that I was teaching the class, like, of course you all want these oils. I mean, as if they had already bought in on the idea or the lifestyle. And I was kind of giving like the second class first. And I realized that I really needed to back up and share with them more about why they would want to use these oils and why they would want to make this change instead of assuming that off the top. And of course the LRP, I often don't mention the LRP until they've already fallen in love with the oils. Class, for some people it happens there, and some people it happens later. But now I feel more empowered to have some tools to talk to them, because I hear people talk and I think, well, geez, you just don't know how awesome these oils are yet, and I didn't know how to express that. And I think that what you've said today will help me to be able to express that a little bit better than I have been. So I thank you.
Thank you so much. That means a lot to me. Thank you. And good luck. You've got this.
Thank you.
Connie, you have
Can you hear me?
you're back. Yes.
So my question is, if you've already done the membership overview, and I've been posting on Facebook and a lot of the things that I do myself. So I noticed that I'm getting a little bit more excitement from some people, but a lot of people stop ordering on LRP. So if I've already done the membership overview and I am posting, ideas on, social media, how would you suggest we start the conversation about LRP? Like, what would be a good way?
So, if I understand this correctly, you're asking me I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you clearly. So you were asking how to start a conversation on LRP with people who are already members, right? Yes? Thumbs up? Yes? Wait, I need to unmute you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So my members, I've noticed that they sort of, the LRP orders have trickled down. And so I've already done membership overviews. I've done a video on LRP to sort of encourage them, definitely hitting the saving aspects. And I do post on social media regularly, things that I do, how I use essential oils in my home. And I'm even considering doing Periscope now, just I think, like, if it can hear me, if it can see me. Periscope, I'm planning on doing that.
Okay,
So,
I think I want to say your audio is really very, very distant. So let's I can answer you. So if I was in your shoes, what I would do, and I mean, we've all been in those shoes, I would ask my team what they want. I ask my team a lot of questions. I'm like, what do you guys want to know about? And before I do anything, I ask them, I'm like, if we were to do this, would you be interested in learning more? I ask for permission always. So before I just randomly post stuff, I do have a feel. I'm talking to my team. I'm like, what do you want to learn about? What do you want to know? What is the next place that you'd like to go to in terms of this oil lifestyle? And I am surprised sometimes by the things that people want to learn about. It's like something that I would never think about. And also you have to understand that just because you've posted something in the past, it doesn't mean that they were ready for it at that time. And that also because your team is everybody's at a different place of the evolution. You know, for some people, they could have been in doTERRA for like 2 years and still not make the transition to clean oils, because they think that, oh my gosh, it's going to be so much work. I'm going to make all this stuff. I have to buy all this stuff. And so I always make anything that I'm doing look very easy, or find the easiest way. And I always start off and I tell my team, I'm super lazy and I don't like complicated. I like to find things in the simplest possible way. So I don't post complicated recipes. And a lot of times, when I'm talking about it, I tell them, hey, it took me this much time to do it. And then more often than not, if I do a video of the thing, I make my children do it. And it's almost as if like if a 6-year-old and a 12-year-old can do it, you can too, kind of an idea. I do very, very little in terms of reposting anything that doTERRA posts, because I want them to understand that what I'm telling them is my experience, mine. I'm not just sharing and reposting, you know. And so, and then I ask for engagement. I ask, you know, if we're talking about hand food as an example, I ask people like, what have you done? Post your recipes, post what you liked, post what you didn't like, post, you know, whether, you know, so when they see other people on the team doing it too, they will too. I mean, tap into that herd mentality that, oh, anything you can do, I can do better, you know, make it into a competition. I've had events before, like I go in and do trainings, and what I do is I have all my team members bring their sugar scrub and we do a sugar scrub swap. Or I've in the past made my team bring, you know, a room spray or a lotion or something. And then or food. I have them bring food, and then I'm like, I'm gonna try all your food, and I'm like, the winner gets this, and people get to vote on which meal is better. So I'm forcing them to like think about how they're gonna incorporate these oils into their meal, and there's more, you know, there's an immortelle at stake there for that, you know. So I mean, there are ways. You just don't be stuck with what's not working. Look at opportunities step up and do something different. How do I mute anyone? I don't know. But anyway, we're almost done.
Just press your screen either at the bottom or the top, and a pull down menu will come in, and it'll and you can find it. Look under participants and mute all.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay.
Thanks.
Yay, for next time. Well, we've come to the end of this call. Thank you for hanging out with me. I really appreciate your time, and I hope this was valuable. I really don't come planned with anything. I can just talk about whatever I feel like talking about, what feels right. And one of the things I'll tell you is that this is a business that comes from the heart. If your heart isn't in the right place and you're not clear in your heart about why you're doing what you're doing, you're on, for example, on LRP just because everybody else is on LRP and that's just what you do. I'm sorry, that's not good enough. To spend the weekend really understanding why the LRP is such a wonderful blessing in your life. And okay, I use that function, yay. Okay, so use this weekend to really figure out why the LRP is such a blessing in your life in a truly big, deep, meaningful way. And watch your posture change. And watch the way people respond to you. It happens. It's true. It's real. You are you're a better mother because of the oils. You're nicer. People like you more because of the oils. That's a true statement, and it's valuable. People like me better because of the oils. I'm nicer because of the oils, because I'm not lost in my own perception of all the things that are going wrong in my day. So thank you all so very much for joining me. And I see you. I really do. And I hope you see me too. And I'm looking forward to seeing you guys next weekend if you can make it. So thank you very much.